Okay. Slime.
Okay. Malam
Yeah.
ini
Yeah.
ada ikan she decided to resurface lah. Yeah.
Kejap. I tekan the intro. Tekan the timer.
Not yet born. Ready? Head banging betul ni mesti pasal ikan punya problem
Very
lah.
song.
You very long already, you resurface up from the deep suddenly you give all out kan.
Last SMS mah kena bagi all out.
Ya waktu kerja.
Apa?
Hi
everyone.
Oi.
Alamak, sudah lama tak buat. Sorry guys. Hello everyone. This is Fish. And we got Daniel and Tyler here with us. Today we'll be talking about roaming the world. Actually, talking about traveling lah. It's the season to travel, right?
Yeah, you got money travel. Fish very kaya one. That's why
I can just swim in the ocean and then reach another destination.
Anyway, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much again for joining us. Let us know for those of you who are tuning already. Just say hi to us. We just want to say hi back to you as well. So as usual lah. Malam ni kan is for those of you who follow us regularly, you would know that I'm not supposed to be here within these two fellas. Okay, so one of them Ponteng lah. So here I am. Kan? So
yeah.
These fellas they want to talk about this tonight time, money, energy. Want to roam the world, YOLO. Okay lo, I also YOLO. So yeah, you say lah, you talk lah. Time, money, energy, yang mana penting? Which one more important to y'all?
Important. Of course, it's. Oh, hi, Chris.
You must say hi to Chris. Mandatory.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Number one fans.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, just to address, we've noticed there are some troubles involving LinkedIn's broadcasting capabilities for months, and we have no idea how to sort it out. So if you have any issues, please know that we are broadcasting live concurrently on YouTube as well. So search Choobub Studios and you will see our comments already posted for the link. Okay, so malam ni can see lah itu bawah itu topik dia. Before that, let us know what are your thoughts. Whether which one is more important to you. If you have the time, you have the energy, you have the money. First of all, would you even roam the world, or you just like me, just stay at home bermalas?
Potato.
Yeah, it's still a thing, isn't it? So, yeah, Tyler, what do you think? Yang mana?
Okay, sekejap. I pop up this banner dulu. Okay, so I think I don't know lah. At my age, right? Need to flex again. That need to stress that. Cause Uncle made a post, right? Young, younger, youngest. I'm the younger one lah. The younger one lah.
Thanks.
Obviously, who's the youngest?
Thanks.
So time, energy, money, I think time-wise, I think still somewhat at an advantage lah. I mean, approaching 30 soon, right? So maybe it's not as much time as I used to have. But I feel like at this stage, money is still quite important. Not the most important, but still quite important lah towards the overall financing of a house and everything else. I think that's very important to have. But still, time is still a factor though. The way I put it forward isn't that you need to have a lot of time, but you need to have enough time to allocate for what's important as well. Is how I would term it. So time and money, I think is like, time being number one, money being number two, energy number three lah. Don't need too much energy, get too much things done. I don't have to necessarily plan energy too much yet. Maybe when another how many years uncle is okay, maybe another 11 years lah.
Don't like that. So, okay, Ken. We have Chris, so he just dropped in his comment that he commented energy is the most important factor for him lah. But let's hear what Fish has got to say. Fish, apa macam? Apa macam? You very rich already lah. Can go Taiwan.
I hope. Hey, I've only been to 2 countries. So one is Thailand and then the other one is Taiwan. So money-wise, I still don't have a lot to actually travel around the world, but then I also think that money is not that important in that sense. If we really want to travel, we have so many ways to travel without spending a lot of money. So I think energy is also very important for me.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess I will not miss out on sharing my thoughts on this as well too. So clearly, I am the young one among the younger and the youngest one here. So blessed financially, but as what Chris said, time is money. So now already tua already. So don't say tua, bro. Say lah, we are still young at heart. Okay. Yeah, I agree. So it depends on at which phase of our lives we're at right now. So our priorities shift. So clearly, I too would love to roam the world. Who doesn't anyway? I did, but not as much as I wanted. But no complaints. I contrary to popular belief, I didn't really travel much during my younger days. But nevertheless, I enjoyed the places that I've been to. And today, back to the question, what matters more for me? I think in sequence, depending on scenarios, but primarily I would say time. And energy, I think I'm still okay. So I would say time comes first, okay? Then money, and then energy. I think energy, I'm able to work on it, so I'm not entirely too worried about it yet. So time is very crucial for me because I'm a parent and I have a family, a young family. So there are some things money cannot buy. We'll talk about it more as we move along this broadcast. Okay, so now that we have already squared it off, time, money, energy, which one's more important to each and every one of us here? Let's go. Let's move on to the next one. So, Fisha, Tyler, do the honors. Silakan.
Silakan, Tyler.
Wow, this one, tenang football, so that think this side of the screen, this side of the screen, coming to this side already. Yeah, so I think on the topic of, let's say, time versus money versus, energy, right? In the context of traveling, because me personally, I've not been to too many countries as well. I haven't traveled much at all. But that being said, right, I mean, I have a buddy I was talking to recently about traveling, because he travels like a lot. So one of the questions that we were discussing recently was, what's a good age to start traveling? So here's the thing, right? Because when I was younger, I was very fortunate that my parents brought me to a few countries. One of which was Australia, which to this day, without the albums, I don't remember a single thing. Because at the time I went, I was like maybe 4 or 5. So it's like one of those situations, like as a kid, like you scream and it's a lot of fun and everything. But as I grew up, I completely forgot that I've been to Australia. Until my parents told me, "You actually been to Australia when you were a kid." I'm like, "Really?" And they showed me the pictures, like, "Oh, so I did." But it doesn't really carry across. I'm not sure that played any part with my development. But because of that, I also had an opinion that if I travel as a kid, also it's kind of my parents kind of wasted their money, man. Because I don't remember a single thing from
Yeah,
the trip.
yeah. That's also part of my conflict as well between my wife and I. There are some places that we would love to go, but that's one of the concerns, that if you go, right, sure, we will enjoy it, but we're not sure whether our son will have any memory of it. And then comes the argument, shall I say, the question of, are we actually traveling for ourselves, or are we traveling for our child, our son, or collectively as a family? So there's no right or wrong, but I think we have come to a point where it's not about the destination where we are going, it's who we are with, and that matters more to us. Like, for example, just very recently, actually, I just went for a staycation in Penang, and it's one of the resorts along the beaches of Butterfringi. And yeah, we spent 2 nights in a nice a suite, and we just stayed in house, just literally membabi in house, makan also in house, so we just sleep. So it's not exactly about uh, the destination anymore, or even the concern whether can our son remember where we have been or not, but rather the experience. So because of where we were, in-house and beach staycation, clearly there's a beach, clearly there's a kids pool, so he had a fun time. We just let him go wild, let him loose, and there'll be a lot of pictures that he can look into. But I think even without pictures, as a child, he would have certain recollection of what he has gone through anyway. He's been talking about it, still won't go right now anyway. So yeah. So that's my take. There's really no right age to start traveling. I can't remember when was the first time I traveled. My son, for example, he started traveling as early as barely 2 months old. He's really got his passport. I mean, lucky kid, right? I don't know, but that's depending on how you look at it. And myself, I grew up in Thailand. I'm half Thai, by the way. So does that count as a country I've traveled to? Maybe yes, because I went back there for holidays in my own time. So there's really no legal age or the right age. You got money, ma go lo. Got no money, and go also one get. There are some ways of doing that, and we'll again discuss more in depth about that. Fish, you how old or how young you lari dari rumah?
I think the first time when I was brought to Thailand was when I was 21 years old. So
Ooh.
that one have to ask uncle lah.
No, but hang on. You say you went to Thailand at 21 years old. What did you do there?
With my sister. So we were actually planning to get some clothes, and then we sell them here. So we were always around like some bazaars or things like that, and we were looking for clothes and nice clothes and bags or things like that we can bring back to Malaysia. Then we sell them to Malaysians. So that was just an experience lah. It wasn't much of a traveling per se, but then it's the experience of getting into another country and experiencing people that are not speaking in your language around you. That different kind of vibes there. But I actually kind of agree with Daniel that we don't really have a time limit that how young or how old that we should travel, because even when we are bringing our children the next time, when we have our kids, when they're only like 2 years old or whatever, they don't remember the thing, but they are in our memories as well. So that's a different kind of memory we can create when we bring our kids together when we travel. Although they can't remember, but we all remember. So that's another way of the memories that we are creating.
Okay, fair enough. So so far our conversation right now it touches on traveling from the perspective of leisure, but let's not forget the other side of the coin, where there is also another way of roaming the world, where we consider migration or relocating into a different country for work, or literally just settling down at other places. That's also
Mm.
an way of traveling as well. Okay, so what better way that you already have a job offer, you move there, and while you're working there, clearly you're in a new place that you will have some time to explore. Since you're already there, you're already earning the local currency, right? But let's come back to reality here again, okay? So, roaming the world, whether for leisure or for entirely different reasons, such as migration, there will always be a cost. Okay? We're not talking about financial cost, but the definition of cost overall in terms of finances, in terms of preparation, in terms of life, the landscape, even loved ones, friends, everything changes. So what gives, you know? Yeah, so I mean that's what we would like to also touch as well. Oh, by the way, we just got a comment that comments left by our viewers on LinkedIn is not
LinkedIn.
showing up. Yeah.
Please
Because
go to YouTube.
yeah, I'm so sorry about that though. Nothing we can do about that anyway, but there's an alternative, so that's why we are also broadcasting on YouTube. Let me see how we can, or how I can try to access for a different device. So anyway, while we talk about migrating, talk about holidaying, traveling, okay, let's now visit this particular topic. Earlier, I mentioned there's cars. So let's just keep it a little bit light right now that we're just going for a seasonal holiday. So, how you prefer going on your own, solo, with family, or with friends? How? How? Let your answer first. If I say I go solo, I will die.
I actually would want to go solo one day, but then I still haven't found that destination that I can go solo being very safe, or I'm not brave enough yet lah, I would say.
Hmm.
Can anyone
Okay.
just comment down there like places that you think we can actually go solo and still be safe? Maybe I'll put that in my wish list.
Hiya, you
So she can
can.
come back with both kidneys intact.
You've been
Yeah,
too
that's
spending too long in the deep already. If there's any places that's 100% safe, walao eh, you aquarium very safe.
yeah, that's my home law. That's why I've never left it.
Yeah. Okay. So just a quick intermission here, just saying hello to some of our friends who had left some comments. We managed to recover them, but we just can't showcase them on this broadcast. Auntie Prema, we've got Mohammed Hafiz, Erasmus, and Alicia White. Hey y'all, thank you so much for
Hi.
so sorry we can't respond and interact with you, through LinkedIn's commenting. So you would like to go solo, but it's just a matter of being cautious until then. If like that, then you travel. How you travel with friends, with family, boyfriend, who?
It's
Can-
usually with my friends lah. Sorry, it's usually with my family.
Family.
I the shock with the scandal word already. Yeah.
So that is true. But there, Chris said Japan number one. He
Japan.
said number one means what? Very safe.
I want to
Chris,
go Japan as well.
you go Japan for what? Anyway,
Japan ada banyak benda kan. I tahu pun.
Canada also very safe. We don't mind the cold and the distance. Yeah, the distance, the flight plans that you need to really transit. There's no direct flight from Malaysia, isn't it? Lule,
Cool lah.
huh?
How?
Tyler, lu seorang kah atau macam mana? Have you traveled alone, Tyler?
Yeah, to Kuching. That was the first solo trip I did lah.
Oh.
But it's dekat saja, so still safe. Okay.
Still
And my friends there
Malaysia.
lah, so okay lah. Betul. But first time traveling alone was that lah. But typically traveling with family also, okay, because the thing is, right, my parents, they're the type of people that like sitting down and chilling while traveling. I like roaming around and doing stuff. So usually when I travel with them, like I need to coordinate timing. Like, okay, you guys gonna sit here and for what time cafe and everything else, right? How long you guys gonna be sitting here? Where do I find you after, like, let's say 2 or 4 hours? I have to actually like plan the route, how long it might take me to clear, and I need to really watch the time lah. So it's a bit stressful. But if I go with the kind of friends who also like roaming around, it's a bit easier to get, see things and do things together. So I'll choose family for certain things if they like, the chill things, the food, everything else. I take my parents for those. But if it's the adventure type, then I go with friends lah, because my parents cannot appreciate when they say you go lah, I don't want to go.
They stay in hotel.
Okay. So fair. I guess that's the cost of traveling in a group. So it's a matter of the group consists of family or friends. So that creates the flexibility and the shared common interest that allows you to take where your feet wants to bring you to, isn't it? So as for myself, again, coming from the perspective of a married man and a parent, solo travel is no longer, at least for now, in my interest, and I say it with conviction because I've done my fair share of solo travels. I went for solo trips to get my scuba diving licenses, not just once, but twice. But of course, I did not dive alone. I went alone, and then I made friends and got connected with the local dive master, and down we went below, just the two of us. And yeah, I went there. I did that for my open water and then also my advanced open water down the road as well to cover some specialties. So that was one of the examples I went. But for now, family really takes the cake. So again, because going with my preference, my priority of time over money, the time refers to the quality time spent with my loved ones, in this case, my wife and my son. And then, of course, come friends. I have very close friends, a very close small circle. We actually are meeting up this Sunday, actually. We are all scattered different parts of the world. So it's one of the rare times we all get to come together, even though for a short time, and I really look forward to it. So family first, then comes friends. Solo, there's no reason to. And for some naysayers, this uncle just say solo no more because his wife is around, don't want to die. Well, that's not true. You see, I made a choice. I proposed to her. See, I chose to spend my life with her, and therefore that disqualifies the notion of wanting to be solo. I'm married by choice. So that's me. Anyway, we'll ask you that question again, Fish and Tyler, when both of you settle down. We'll see whether that changes down the road.
Sounds like I'll have to plan my solo trip soon before I get married.
But I mean, it also gives a safety net to your loved ones, because let's be honest, my wife, when we were married already, right, she also went traveling with her friends, and I'm happy for her because she's got some really good friends as well. She traveled to places, US, Korea, and whatnot. And but I have to admit that because I'm not there, there are certain shared memories that I wasn't able to share with her. But nevertheless, it was still okay, but there will still be a bit of a concern for her. She's okay generally, but at the end of the day, she's still in a foreign place, miles away from you. See, so you flip that the other side, the opposite direction. Our loved ones will also be worried for us. I went on my solo trip, taking my scuba diving license when I was dating my wife. So I can also imagine that even though we're boyfriend girlfriend, she will still have that certain degree of concern. Oh, you want diving? Sharks. Sharks are friendly, at least in these waters. Yeah. So, family and friends for me. Solo, out of the picture right now. Okay. So, let's see what else. We've got quite a few banners tonight for selection to talk about. All right. There are let's just try this, okay? Tips and tricks for traveling. So earlier we've been talking about traveling from the perspective of leisure and holidays, okay? And I did sprinkle a little suggestion of for those of us who may be considering migration. That's one of the ways as well where we're able to do some traveling in country, okay? So that's one of the tips and tricks of doing so. But for those of us who are not doing that, we're just visiting as visitors, tourists. This one, I think fish have some kang tao up her sleeve. You just went to Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can share with us, what did you do? How did you plan to maximize your experience and your resources?
Yep. So, fortunately, we have like social media nowadays, so that we can actually go through social media. So I actually looked through a lot of posts on this platforms called Red. It's Chinese platforms for social media. So a lot of people shared their experience traveling in Taiwan, and then what type of food is nice. And then because they are from Malaysia, so I know in some ways the food they taste will some ways like match with our taste. And also some of the places they went to, I made a lot of lists down, but then it will also have to depend on what type of travel places you're looking for. Are you those that you like shopping a lot, or are you those that you like natures a lot? So I do tend to find a lot of places that introduce a lot of nature places. So I went to a few beach, and then there's this I don't know how to say that, but some places that people introduce. So that's one of the thing, and then I list them all in my app, in one of the app, and then I'll plug everything, every place, the pin on Google, and then on Google, then you will be able to actually know how long is the distance, and then how do we travel there? It's by bus, by train, or by taxi. So it's very convenient on Google. So you can just plug everything there, and then you can share it to your travel companion, the link, and then they'll be able to see which places they want to go as well. That would be one of the convenient way to do for traveling.
That's so true. That's so true. Internet is so easily accessible to us even when we're traveling, and don't just go for exactly very organized OCD. Anyway, you got to be smart about it, and information is freely available. Of course, is due diligence required for us to prepare prior to the trip. But when we're on site, we can be smart about it as well. We can consider just taking a prepaid pack of the local telco, where it gives us a fair bit of, and that's all we need actually, And true enough, I agree with you, Fish, because years ago when I went to Perth with my wife, there were a lot of things that we only decided to do when we were there, and we walked around. Of course, we took some packages, not necessarily the tour groups all the time, but we decide based on what we know, and most of what we knew at that time was due to preparation prior to the trip. So we more or less have an idea already, at least a skeletal idea. Then depending on whether we feel like it, our mood, whether we are lazy or hardworking, then we go for it lah. Itu macam lah. So especially for local destination lagi senang, because we have that familiarity of still being in country, I suppose, and language is not entirely a problem. So what about you there, Tyler? Do you have any tips and tricks for traveling? I mean, you've got something coming up. How do you even plan for that? I mean, let's hear it from you.
Okay. I think my number one rule is similar to Chris, which is travel light. Reason being, right, if I'm going, let's say, traveling anywhere, typically I will carry a few things. So one is like a few spare plastic bags for any reason. For example, if you're out caught in the rain, you don't have an umbrella, at least you can keep the electronics safe somewhat.
You sure or not? You don't have to travel, you come to the iconic and all that, so you carry one military backpack, one xiao, everything is in there.
My
It's
bag
like
is always with me. It's right next to me right now.
there
So
we go.
That's light for him.
It's like a zombie apocalypse backpack, for survival. It's got your, big ass power bank, paling orang can mati one and all that. Got
Oh
umbrella,
yeah.
this, got that. Like, so what don't you have in there? Traveling like, sure, I believe you.
no, it's like, I mean, it's mostly my bag is mostly my laptop and a few other things, but I use the same bag when I'm traveling also. That's the thing. So it doesn't really matter where I go, but I always have extra space. If I go shopping, for example, I can use at least half my bag for groceries or whatever. Also, so save space one. I don't have to bring extra bag. My one bag out in everything.
Is that
so
a
actually very light
Doraemon
one.
pocket?
Oh yeah.
Sounds like
literally.
very deep like that.
Oh, literally, it's Doraemon pocket plus my Swiss Army knife. Everything out already. But anyways, I think
Swiss
when
Army
planning,
knife. Did you hear that, everyone? Swiss.
Don't play with Tyler, okay?
that one cannot bring when traveling. Only locally.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, so I think for traveling among group of buddies, I think the Excel sheet thing really helps. My group of friends, the ones I'm going with to Kuala Kubaru, they're very impromptu. The motto of our group name can be literally changed to "See how lah," because that's literally how we plan everything.
That's the
Only thing we need
best.
to confirm and lock down is just the venue, who's going, and how much is the cost. That's all we need to sort out. The rest of like what we're gonna do on the day and everything, we have a few things in mind, but we see where the weather takes us and everything lah. So the group is very chill, which makes it a lot easier to plan because then no one's too particular about anything. So everything just goes to a vote, majority wins, and that's how we do it lah.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Okay, are all of them guys or mixture of guys and ladies?
Oh guys lah,
Jangan lah.
but got partners also. Some also potentially got partners coming lah. So yeah, depending lah. But mostly guys which speaks to why we're very chin-chai lah, not very organized one.
Anyway, we're not implying anything there, but there you go. You've already had the two young fellas, okay? Tips and tricks of traveling. Yeah, I do agree that preferably to pack light as well. So I like convenience. So for example, even though I pack light, right? But I don't necessarily like to carry my baggage on board. I just like to be easy, but sometimes through certain experience that I've experienced myself, checking in my luggage, right, there will always be a risk of delays or even lost baggages. So it kind of puts a downer on that convenience idea. So depending lah, like this weekend, so some of you know already that I'll be traveling to KL. I don't intend to check in. I just prefer to just carry it with me. But then it also boils down to which airline I'm flying. Oh, anyway, so let's not go there. So no. So yeah, but yeah. So traveling light is definitely. I normally just travel the cabin baggage, trolley bag. These days I ditch my deuter. I malas mau carry lah. So I just prefer to drag. Lao liao. Okay lah. I admit okay, right? And I these days I prefer to get connected, to always have data, all right, so that there will always be easy access to any information that I need. Not that I bother about being connected or not. Now, when I travel, I don't only check my phone, but it has become my digital version of a map. No, not sure if anyone who is watching or any both of you here travel with maps, with the old school map that you want to go around and you got a map, see, and then you gotta figure out where you are on that map to understand in order to navigate your way. Otherwise, that map also pailang one, no point one, just decoration. You might as well just buang aja. So yeah. So this is just some ideas of traveling with smartly, or if you want to put it that way. And of course, the other one is if you happen to have a chance to migrate, I mentioned earlier. So for myself, I've had the chance, the blessings and the joy of staying in Singapore for 10 years. It was home to me, and where I met my wife, made some great friends. And it's a beautiful country. Okay, Singapore, as we all know, has got its plus points, and you name it. Okay. But what I'm trying to say here is that even though it's a small country, some people may say, "Oh, it's just a tiny little red dot." Yeah, true, but there are some historical aspects to it as well too. And then from there, it allowed me to travel to countries, starting from Singapore to Indonesia. Bintan is just around the corner. You can just take a ferry. I never knew that until I was there anyway. And then Perth, there's a direct flight from Singapore. It's just 5 hour flight, I think, and and a few other places as well. So that really gave me the chance to travel. But just being in Singapore itself, I literally enjoyed my time. I roamed the different areas. I even went cycling. So there was a time that I was crazy about cycling, rode bikes. So I don't know what was I on, but I was living on the east side of Singapore. Some Singaporean friends can attest. And I rode all the way up north, come down to the west, ended up in the zoo, and cycled back. So, I had enough of that. Let's just say I may not do that again soon. Yeah. So,
Sudah tua lah.
don't remind me. Anyway, but yeah, there's truth in that anyway. And have more sense. Time. Okay, better use my time.
Betul-betul.
So Auntie Prema, she checks in. Traveling with kids, I guess she was just addressing with what I shared earlier. It has got to be around them. And then we, the parents, will have to take another vacation to recover from that. That's so true. So true. And we also did use a map for a long time. So clearly, Auntie Prema is very young. But she's also young enough to be able to use technology. There we go. Okay. But then again, she said must be able to read maps, navigating the driver. So you the driver or you the navigator, Auntie Prema? If you're the driver, I guess like that lah. But if you're the navigator, that means you're the one who membebel lah. Okay, anyway, I don't want to die. So anyway, moving on. These fellas, we forgot to run the intro, but anyway, we can forget about it. Poor Eric, he go and produce the intro, but we always forget about it. So anyway, apalah, dia pun sekarang tengah holiday dah. So now we have already mentioned about that, right? Now we will talk about. Let's go. I'm just randomly picking topics here. Okay. So pet peeves when traveling. Do we have a pet peeves when traveling? Do I? Do you? Anyone watching? Do you have pet peeves when you're traveling? Do let us know. Share with us your comments. I'm constantly refreshing.
I can speak a universal one. You know when you're in an airplane seat and sounds like kicking the back of your seat. See, everyone's reaction is the same. Everyone is like, that's the one thing I hate. I cannot, man.
Okay. I had the last time, so the recent one when I was traveling to Taiwan. There's this one guy who's snoring all the way before even the flight starts flying, and there's a baby crying.
Oh god.
Bo pian one ma, that fella got breathing problem, and then the baby being a baby, what to do?
No, the baby is crying and he still can sleep. That's the best part. There's like music.
Do you like
a band.
Do you like kids fish? Do you plan to have kids next time?
I love kids.
She's precautious now.
I do like kids. So I just went back to Klang and visit my sister. She just got a new baby.
Okay.
She just got a baby, not a new one. So so after that, I came back to KL, and then with my nephew, who's already 3 years old. It's such a big difference.
She actually skirted my question, there's no right or wrong if you want to have kids or not, but yeah, anyway, you wait lah. One day, okay? One day.
Takut lah, takut.
I think she likes kids, but she doesn't like brats.
Oh.
That's true. Yes, correct. I'll throw my kids away.
Beyond, she dropped in a comment when traveling with people who have no opinion about anything. This one we can kembangkan dia punya comment. When we ask them, anything lah, apa pun boleh. Yelah, babi betul lah. Do all the opinions suddenly, I don't want lah, don't like this lah, that lah.
So far, so hot.
All the
so
wayang.
spicy.
So, you know anyone like that? Fish?
I don't know anyone like that.
No. Pet peeves.
Fortunate.
Pet peeves. I can't think of any, but let's visit this. Auntie Prema said she sat next to a guy who had bad breath.
No.
Okay lah. So
almost died.
I think and thankfully there was a spare seat. It wasn't a full load on the aircraft, and I think that stewardess, the cabin crew, did what she did best and what she could at the time, given the circumstances. Like I said, earlier, we can't entirely blame the man who snored. Having bad breath, well, that is a social taboo, but right? It's not entirely a crime. It's annoying. Yeah. So, but that's a thing. So since, let me think, almost 7-8 years ago, I was introduced to earplugs, and I carry earplugs with me. I may not necessarily use them, but I carry them with me, especially on long haul flights. And on top of that, I also carry a eye blanket, because sometimes it's so hard to sleep where the cabin lighting is bright. So if I really want to sleep, like the flight I took to Perth, my wife, it was a red-eye flight. Oh, I couldn't care less about the food. I don't want to know. Just don't disturb me. I was in a murderous mood. Just kidding. I just want to sleep. So shut eye and plugged in my earplugs, and voila, I was in heaven. Literally woke up just about half an hour before landing. The plane was already on approach. And it was still not enough, because it took me a while to get into my comfort zone to finally doze off. But that was probably what you can consider. We all can consider. So among the tips and tricks again while traveling. But again, coming back to pet peeves, I can't think of any for now. I'm pretty much an easygoing guy.
So much though. I mean, fairly often lah.
I got one.
Okay, I got one already. But ladies first. Fish, you go first.
Okay. I got one. I cannot tahan people when we are traveling, and then they look at everything they say, oh, this is so expensive. This is so expensive. So, come on, just enjoy. I really cannot. So they complain about everything, about the price, about this and that.
Okay. Once you guys are there lah, but before that they didn't say anything about the pricing or anything, is it?
Yeah. And we have enough, like we change enough, we have enough money to spend. But they just, oh no, we just save the money. That's so sad.
So myself, it's not entirely a pet peeve, but it does get annoying at times, especially when the plane has already landed. And the door is being disarmed. We are already able to unbuckle our seat belts, and people are normally rushed to get up and just get their cabin baggage. So that's a bit annoying to me, especially when I'm sitting on the aisle. Who doesn't want to get off the plane ASAP, right? But sometimes when the aisle is really clogged and I couldn't bother, I just sit down, just wait lah. And then some passengers next to me on the window side, or potentially on the middle seat, especially when it's just a single aisle aircraft. Then very sian one lah. It's like much higher pressure. It's like, oh, okay long, go long, go long. Then I actually couldn't care less. I just sit down. Yeah, so it's annoying, and that also explains why I said earlier, I'm into convenience. I'm all for convenience, but depending on which airline that I fly with, I would consider checking in my baggage so that I don't have to go and carry out my stuff. And even if there's a backpack, right? Normally it's just at the bottom of the front seat in front of me, so it's just grab and go. It's easy. That's me lah. Yeah. So, oh hey, hello. Sharon is here with us. So she likes traveling alone. So another lone ranger. Ni anti prema pun sama juga. So that's the thing. Traveling alone is very liberating. You have all the freedom that you can have. Again, depending on your priorities, different phases of your life, whether you choose to want to spend that time and create memories with someone that you would like to or not. Okay. Now, Sharon has got a question. Maybe we can lempang this question to Tyler and to Fish. She asks, have you had the person sitting in front of you talking to the person sitting behind you? Okay, so you're here, person in front of you talking to the person behind us.
You're a sandwich in between.
Ada.
Actually, yes.
I never kena before.
I cannot, and I was on my only one solo trip, right, to Kuching. I was just getting a short flight. So what happened was there's a family of 4. So what the father and the son, and then the mom and the son they had a split, like, because I booked the seat in between, so happens.
Oh.
So given I was the only person, they were talking to and fro, and I was like, I just wish they would have asked me to switch seats. I'm more than happy to. I'm alone, right? I only have my bag, and they've got kids, right? So I guess after they did that for I think about 10 minutes, I said, do you just want to, swap seats? And then she's like, the mom was at the back, right? She said, oh yeah, that'd be great if you could. So then we swap seats, and I was like, that solved it.
Lucky she accepted.
Yeah, but
someone said, oh, it's okay.
But even for the next aisle, it was annoying for them because, it was quite loud, obviously, right, to skip over one seat. So even the other, I was like, just looking at them and looking at me, I was like, I feel bad. Like, they haven't asked, but I felt the need to offer after that because it's just, a lot of social pressure around.
Good man. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. That's a good one. Oh dear. Yeah. So that's not nice at all. I cannot imagine. Thankfully, I've never had to experience that before. So okay, so now that we know, clearly there are some pet peeves. I think all of us have one. I never knew I had one until I was thinking hard enough earlier. Okay, so let's see. I'm just choosing what other topics that we can have here that we can just bring up to discuss.
Let's talk about the best places you've traveled to.
Hard to say one leh, because that's just very subjective.
But if you pick one difficult, then okay lah. Let's say one of the best experiences lah. So you don't have to pick the absolute best.
Okay, fair enough. Well, am I going first? Me first?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, the most well.
You traveled the most.
Person here.
So for the record, I don't think I've traveled enough. Okay, but yeah, maybe within 3 of us. Okay, that's fair enough. Walao. Sigina, that's a nice way of saying that I'm older than the oldest guy.
Experience,
anyway,
not oldest.
So for any one of you who are with us tonight, let us know which place is the best that you've traveled to so far. Okay, I would love to hear it as well. And as for myself, I'm a bit biased. Okay, so excuse me. So for me, I love Australia, specifically Perth. It's quite a boring place to many, and a lot to my Australian friends as well. They will be wondering, so why Perth? There's nothing there. So exactly, that's the whole point. I like the pace of the city and even the suburbs, and not just Perth. Okay, it's practically Western Australia. I feel that, in my opinion, it feels like Penang, but with a modern infrastructure. If you have accessibility there, you've got the landscape. So, for example, when I was there, I didn't want to stay in the city all the time because there's not much to do there in the city. So, my wife and I, we rented a car and we relied a lot on Google Maps. This would take us to places. We knew where we want to go. We Google mapped our way, navigated ourselves, and we started driving. So we went to places like Caversham Animal Sanctuary. That's where a lot of the wallabies are. Yeah, Caversham is one of the places. And as we were there, Caversham apparently is quite near to Swan Valley. That's also among the wineries, the wine country. Okay. And we took a drive all the way up north to the Pinnacles, where there's some, how to say, some formations, okay, natural formations. And yeah, that was really, really nice. My only regret is that we went to the Pinnacles in the day, and I was told that the Pinnacles have got two different experiences between day and night. So we didn't really go to we didn't go there at night. But we went to the sand dunes as well, and then we drove all the way down south to I can't remember what's that place now, but we passed by the longest jetty in the world, which I'm going to cheat a little bit while talking to you guys. Jetty in the world in Australia. No, longest jetty in the world. WA. Busselton Jetty. That's right, Busselton Jetty. And on the way down to the very southern end of the Australian continent, where we can see the ocean between the Antarctica Ocean and the Pacific and the Indian Ocean collides. Yeah, so it was just like, so as far as I'm concerned, Australia is a dream to me. I would love to go back there. I can't get sick about it. Language is easy. The wine, clearly, I'm a Tukui. Wine is good there. There's a lot of good craft beers, steaks, ulala, cheese, name it. Yeah. So Chris says Rome for him. Shangri-La. Shangri-La where?
Wow.
So I know Shangri-La is what you call? Bhutan? Is that what you mean, Sharon? And Auntie Prema. Welcoming the millennium. Whoa, back in the year 2000 in Sydney with both her children. Oh, wow, that was a sight. Because I remember during the turn of the millennium, the Sydney Harbour Bridge was banging out, really, really fantastic fireworks. So, wow, okay. The daughter was 14. The son was
Oh,
9.
wow. Once in a lifetime.
This refers to Y2K, right? Just to be sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you know. Oh.
Hey, I'm not. I was born in the previous millennium also. Okay.
Okay, so Sharon checks in Shangri-La in China. So okay, fair enough. So Australia is me, specifically Perth. So what about the both of you? Best places you've traveled to?
Ladies first. Ladies first.
After I went to Taiwan, I really think that Malaysia is still, anywhere in Malaysia is still the best that I can travel to.
This one very
I really love, no lah, I really love like being in Malaysia because there's still so many places that I've never go to, like Terengganu, Kelantan, all these places, even Sabah and Sarawak I've never been to, and I really wanted to go one day. So out of all the other places that I've went, it's all nice food, nice people, because sometimes we can't really get used to food outside of the country, because even if you go to the Western, maybe for the first few days you enjoy the fast food, the steaks and all, but then after a while you're like, I'm really craving for char kway teow, I'm really craving for satay, all this sorts.
This one is Asian problem, Malaysian problem.
Yeah.
Suddenly, want to go for rice. Where's my nasi lemak? Where's my char kway teow? Where's my nasi kandar? Or macam kan, where's my teh peng?
Yeah, that's true. So Malaysia is still one of the best, but I have no like right to say yet because I've only traveled to 2 countries outside of Malaysia. So maybe when
What
I
are they?
travel more, I'll know. Thailand
Taiwan,
and Taiwan.
Thailand, and Taiwan. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay, good. So, comes Tyler. So, apa macam best punya tempat? Give me local for a week.
Eh, best place, in my opinion, so far from what I've traveled, South Africa, I think.
Oh, nearer a bit.
Yeah.
What?
Nearer a bit.
You've
No,
been to
because
South Africa?
I like the nature stuff. So
Mm.
I think the most memorable part, because first of all, I think out of all of I only went to two cities, Johannesburg and Cape Town. Between the two, I really liked Cape Town. So something about South Africa that I think if people are considering to go, right, is you need to be fairly careful of the violence on the road.
Of course.
And when I mentioned violence on the road, it's literally armed robberies. Because the car in front of us that we rented a car, we were driving around, right? And the car in front of us pulled over and held at gunpoint. So that was quite interesting. And
Yeah.
everyone's expected to just drive on, like no one stopped to help. It's a thing that happens. So that was quite surreal, but definitely memorable. And yeah, why I enjoyed Cape Town was particularly, I think Cape Point is one of the most beautiful places I've been to. Because you can see the parting of the sea. I forgot the two names. It's quite a while ago, but seeing the very satisfying line in between the two colors is quite amazing.
Yeah.
Apart from all these safaris, obviously, and being up and close to the animals, because there's like the nature reserves you could go to as long as you know someone that can take
Correct.
you in as well.
Correct.
And also, I had the pleasure of doing like a few braais with some of the locals there. So braai is like an Argentinian barbecue, right? So that was kind of fun. Let's start
Okay.
with T. Next, Tanzania.
So yeah, so South Africa is in one of my wish lists as well. The only reason is that mostly the landscape and the nature. There are a lot of bespoke experiences. It may not necessarily be cheap, but it's definitely a must try, at least for me. But I'm also aware what you said earlier, Tyler. It's true. There's a fair bit of risk, so always be ready to find out more information. Check the travel advisories before we travel to make a better decision. But that said, whenever we travel overseas to a different country, remember we are foreigners in a foreign land, so it's so important for us to understand a little bit of the culture and to know what we're stepping into, because we're kind of stepping into the unknown, isn't it? So yeah, I mean that's that. Okay, so I guess we've kind of covered the best places we've traveled to as well. Australia, Perth is mine. Bali comes in a very close second place for me. It's always among the top 3 destinations for honeymoon every single year in, year out. So yeah, and of course there are still plenty of wish list places. I almost went to Tokyo and Osaka way back in 2020 until COVID decided to come, and anyway. Even New Zealand as well. I kind of planned a route ready into Auckland and coming out from Christchurch, or was it the other way around? I can't remember. Some road trip and all that. It's a very, very scenic place to drive, and I'm into culture as well. So clearly, the indigenous Maori culture is really important to me, and of course, certain places quite magical naturally. Such as the glaciers that is all year round glacier that you can check out as well too. Anyway, so tonight's episode, for those of you watching and wondering, what are we 3 of us talking about just traveling? What we're trying to say here is that roam the world if you have the opportunity in any kinds of ways that lands on your lap. Consider it. Of course, There are different experiences, different challenges, different types of opportunities that may come our way. But the point here is that it definitely opens up our eyes and our mindset to have a better appreciation of what we have around us. And let's not forget, when we say roam the world, depending on timing, depending on affordability, let's not forget our own country as well too. Say anything at what we may want about Malaysia, but it ain't that bad country, is it? It's one of the best places as well. Case in point, East Coast, all right, or even on Borneo, some diving sites is always consistently appearing as among the top places for dive sites in dive magazines. Think about that. We're not there for no good reason, isn't it, right? And this is among the nicest things that we can do, and it's all just in our own backyard. So cuti Malaysia, why not, right? So we hope you enjoyed the episode tonight, and just leave us your comments if you have any feedback as well. Before we end, we also want to say thank you so much. What a year 2023 it has been for all of us. And tonight is the last episode for this year. We'll return in the new year. Don't know when yet. See lah when these fellas rajin or how long they want to bermalas. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, until maybe we bermalas long enough already. Macam this year kan, suddenly our boss ada satu lembu akan cucuk kita. Then we'll see how lah. Anyway, yeah. I talk a lot. I think I've spoken enough. Giving the floor back to Fish and Tyler. It's at 9 p.m. Any last words for our audience?
Nah, Fish.
What's the quiet one? Walao, y'all.
No, we're just like what Daniel said, just travel when you can and enjoy the moment, I'd say, because we have lost a few people recently on newspapers. I see a lot of young people like sudden death. So just enjoy your life and travel when you can.
So heavy. What young eh? Should have spoken.
That was like a truck, man.
I know,
I
right?
bring it back, but I'm a bit like sunken already, by that. It's like gonna punch in the face, like yeah, but I think, it's good to see the world from a different perspective, right? And the thing about travel is what I realize, I read about it in the books, you watch videos about all these things, but being there is entirely different. The experience is completely different. It's not exactly what you see on video and stuff like that. So if the means presents itself, or if you could make the time and gather the means to travel, at least somewhere locally as well, it's not too expensive. Like maybe a weekend away will cost you between 200 to 600 max within Malaysia, I think, depending if you're smarter about how you spend your budget. So I mean, it's good to just travel a bit more, see a bit more, and enjoy life a little bit more, because again, it could be quite short, as per what Fish says, to leave us on a depressing note. But no lah, travel, have fun, enjoy lah. Year end, clear your leave. Make sure you clear your leave, because cannot bow forward to next year, also wasted lah.
Come Penang. Okay, come Penang. I heard it's a very nice
see all the
place.
bars here. Yeah.
Very nice place. I heard lah. Very happy here also. So thank you again for tuning in and sharing us your thoughts, as well as your comments, and most importantly, your time, joining us week in, week out, all right, and supporting us all this time. And we are going to be reaching our 3rd anniversary come 14th of December this year, since Eric and I started this journey broadcasting 3 years ago. Okay, see you next year. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. Stay safe wherever you are. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.